Are we all ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, lovely. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Macy. I'm Skills Programmes Coordinator for Barratt Redrow, and I'm joined with some of my colleagues today. Steph?
Hiya, I'm Stephanie Taylor. I'm the Apprenticeship and Skills Manager at Barratt Redrow and oversee our degree apprenticeships. So you will hear a little bit more from me later.
Lovely. And I'm Danielle Love. So I'm also in the early recruitment team, but I deal with the recruitment element. So all the way from getting those roles ready for you to apply to, supporting you through your journey, and then hopefully getting offers out for you before I then sort of pass over to Steph and her management.
Hiya, my name's Jamie Shaw. I am an assistant quantity surveyor and I am on the degree apprenticeship course at the minute.
Lovely. So over the next 30 minutes or so, we'll just be talking to you about apprenticeship pathways at Barratt Redrow and also some of the exciting opportunities that we have available to you. And there will also be a chance to ask some questions at the end. So firstly, just to give you a bit of an introduction into house building. So let's just start with the basics. What does the house building industry actually do? So simply, we build homes. So from finding the land to construction to handing the keys over to the new customers, we do it from the start to the finish. Working in house building is very rewarding. It's very people focused. You are essentially helping to create communities and the homes for people that will live in them for generations. Just a few things about the industry. The housing demand in the UK is still very high. The construction industry is becoming more modern and technology driven, and there's also a big focus on sustainability and also becoming a net zero carbon company. But everything that we do relies on having skilled and motivated people within our teams. But obviously there's also challenges within the industry. We are slowly becoming an ageing workforce, and we're slowly losing some of our skills and some of our trades. So this is why apprenticeships and new talent like you are so important. So just a little bit about Barratt Redrow as a whole. We are made up of 5 major brands. We are made up of Barratt Homes, David Wilson Homes, most recently Redrow Homes, Barratt London, Wilson Bowden. We like to think that we build homes for every stage of life, whether that be first-time buyers or whether that be you're downsizing for your final home. Some of the things that we are proud of, we are a #1 house builder in the UK. We are a FTSE 100 company, and we also have placed in the top 30 best places to work in the UK. We have around 8,000 employees, delivering around 17,000 homes each year. And just obviously on a personal note, I started as an apprentice myself at Barratt Redrow 9 years ago, and I'm still here. The culture is so supportive, people focused, and there's loads of opportunities to grow. If we just go a bit more into our apprenticeships now and our different opportunities. We have our trade apprenticeship programmes at level 2 and 3. They are 18-month programme in England and Wales and also 4 years in Scotland. Our current focus for trades is bricklaying and carpentry, and we partner with 2 colleges in the UK, which are Stevenson's College and also York College. As part of the programme, we provide a full starter toolkit, also PPE, travel accommodation for college, and also we pay higher than the minimum wage. We pay the batshit rates. So we give you absolutely everything to get started and start off on the right foot. Applications are open now, and it's a perfect time to apply. So I'm just going to hand over to Steph now, who'll talk more about the higher and degree apprenticeships.
Perfect. So our higher and degree apprenticeships, we run those in partnership with Sheffield Hallam University. They are, as it says on there, they're 5.5 years in total to complete the qualification. So during the first 2 years, you'll be doing your level 4 certificate in higher education and your higher apprenticeship. And then on the successful completion of that, you directly move then straight into your BSc and your degree apprenticeship. When you're on the higher and degree apprenticeship, you're employed into a full-time role from day one. And that role will start as a trainee within the kind of subject area that you're looking at. As I said, it's in partnership with Sheffield Hallam University, so you will attend the university for block weeks throughout the year where you do your academic study, and then the rest of your learning is done back in your division, back with your department, learning on the job alongside your team. As you can see there, we've got 3 subject areas, so construction site management, technical design, and then commercial or kind of quantity surveying. So those are our 3 subject areas that the degree apprenticeship runs with. We are open for applications, as Macy said, so it's a great opportunity for you to apply now. The applications, when you go on our website to look, there will be certain regions that are recruiting for each of those disciplines, and all of that will be detailed on the application page. So you can have a look at that. With regards to kind of what that looks like, your starting salary, as you can see there, is from 26,227 to start. The salary will depend on your location and also your contracted hours. Sometimes contracted hours are different for construction, and also areas like London, for example, are slightly higher than that. You do have the opportunity to progress whilst you're on programme, so you don't remain necessarily as a trainee for the whole of the 5.5 years. During your time on programme, you'll get the opportunity to move into additional roles within the business. And the requirements for the programme, as it says there, you need a level 3 qualification, so 1 A-level, a BTEC, or something like that, as well as your kind of 4 GCSEs. It does say kind of English and maths. That is preferred. If you don't have English and maths, there is the opportunity for us to support you through that for your qualification. And we do also consider people with other qualifications or backgrounds, but yeah, we can look through that application. So for those of you that do apply, all the best. And there you go, I'll hand back to Macy.
Lovely. I think it's coming over to me actually, Steph. So
I think it might be Jamie. I do apologise.
Jamie, sorry, yeah, I'm jumping in.
No, don't worry. But yeah, as the slide says, my name's Jamie Shaw. I started at, well, what was Redrow back at the start of July 2023. I'm currently an assistant quantity surveyor, and essentially what I'm just going to do is talk through why I chose an apprenticeship, the skills I've gained, and what I do about recommending an apprenticeship. So really, I chose an apprenticeship purely because I'm more of a hands-on learner. I chose this because when I was in sixth form, I enjoyed getting my head into a book, but I prefer to learn with other people as well. So that was a big sign for me to just go into an apprenticeship and learn from people who were more experienced within the business, essentially. And it was more about was also earning while I'm learning at the same time. University, the prospect of university looked great. Obviously, you have your own freedom, you can do whatever you want. But for me, you're going into a lot of debt after it. Whereas what I thought was, go into this, I can earn and I can still get my university degree out of while I'm also earning a bit of money. But to be fair, I know what a lot of you want to hear is what is the day-to-day life of what I do as an assistant quantity surveyor. So really, what I do at the minute is tender them. I go through contact contractors regarding if they want to come onto site, while running my own site at the minute, where I'm overseeing a site of 217 units at the moment, where I'm just running essentially day-to-day activities, speaking with contractors, discussing what needs to be going on site, discussing with our technical teams who we liaise with a lot. They are very important at the time right now in the stage that we're going through. Also liaising with the site team, understanding what's going on site at the minute, and how us as a commercial and as a quantity surveyor can help out them negotiating with contractors, saving money for ourselves, things like that. Well, I've been at Barratt Redrow now for 2.5 years, and I don't think I'll actually change a thing. The support system we have around us at the minute is great. My mentor at the minute, Paul, is brilliant with me. Our leadership team going up to our managing directors is great. We always get the support that we need, really. There's times where I've went to different people, could be my commercial director, could be the managing director, could be my mentor. Every time I've went there, they've always came in and told me, don't worry, the door is open 24/7. You can come in, you can ask me any question. If you can make mistakes, which I think is the best part of being on an apprenticeship, you're not expected necessarily to come in straight away and have all the knowledge. You're not expected to know the systems. You're not expected to make sure everything is correct. So the first thing that I got told on my first day essentially was, don't worry about making mistakes. You can make a million mistakes. Mistakes can be solved a lot of the time. And if they can't, it's something you can learn from, really. That was really the moment I thought that essentially Barratt Redrow was for me. On my interview, I had a commercial director, commercial manager, and 2 chief surveyors. And just talking to them in the interview was probably the moment I sat down and went, I actually don't want to go anywhere else but Barratt Redrow. The support system they put in place and showed me at the time was great. And then obviously I've going into the university start of last year, I had met Steph for the first time, and again, Steph was a lot like the mentor I've got at the minute, and also my director. She said to me, listen, look, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be times in university where you're going to get stuck or you might need help. And my emails, my phone's open. Don't worry about actually making a mistake. Don't worry about ringing me or email me. My phone's always open. My emails are always open. If you need anything, just contact me, which I thought really showed the support system that Barratt Redrow have got in place at the minute for degree apprentices. But to sort of conclude, really, I would recommend an apprenticeship 1,000,000% to anyone. It could be if you look at it, there's people who on degree apprenticeship with me who are 30, push on to 40. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can actually do an apprenticeship whenever you want. And to be honest, as I've probably said before, you're earning while you're learning as well. Like that's the biggest point to me is that you're not sat there, you're not in university where you're stuck into debt or you're not enjoying it. You sat around people while you're earning, and you're earning on the job as well. It gives you that sense of responsibility. Alongside that of being sat in an office with people who are more experienced and taking on your own roles, day-to-day business, where you can actually sit there and think, okay, I've actually just done that. Whether that be you've just tendered out for the site, whether it's you've just spoke to a contractor and negotiated discounts, anything and everything. It's a learning process. But 1,000,000%, and I definitely recommend it with Barratt Redrow at the minute. It's a really great place to work. And as I said, if I was in a position that I know a lot of people in at the minute, they could be coming out of sixth form, could be coming out of GCSEs for their trade apprenticeships, they could be leaving a job, they could be leaving university, I'd say come and work at Barratt Redrow. It is a great company to work for. As I said previously, the support systems that they have available, the people you can contact, it's a lot better than a lot of people that I know work elsewhere, in all fairness. And there's people who I go to who I'm friends with who are in university, and they turn on and go, I really wish that I did what you did and did an apprenticeship, because they're sat there, they've come to university with a degree, and that's great. And I wouldn't stop anyone from saying go and do a degree. It's going to be a great thing, but they're coming out and they're saying, oh, well, I've got 20, 30, 40,000 pounds in debt and I don't know what I'm going to do. Whereas I'll come out of this with what will be, at the end of my degree apprenticeship, 7 years of experience within the industry, alongside no debt, and I've been getting paid the whole time. So I genuinely couldn't think of a better place to work than Barratt. And as Steph showed, salaries are competitive, and yeah, it's a great place to work, I think, personally. But yeah, that's it really. Couldn't really say anything more about it.
Brilliant, thank you, Jamie. Lovely. I'll just pass over to you, Danielle.
Lovely, yes. So hopefully now that you've heard a little bit about both of the apprenticeships, it's either made you want to apply, or you've got people in your network that you're hoping to pass those details along to. So I'll go a little bit then through what our 2026 recruitment campaign looks like. Any questions that you've got, please just put them in the chat. We're more than happy to answer those at the end. But Steph mentioned it earlier, so our recruitment processes are live. So whether you're talking about the trade apprenticeships or the degree apprenticeships, the recruitment journey is essentially very similar for both. So I will be talking about them as one. So we went live on Monday, so during this National Apprenticeship Week, and they are on our careers website. We will put the web link in the chat at the end as well. And we have as Steph mentioned, commercial, construction and technical degree apprenticeships open at the moment. All of our available locations are listed in the advert. And we've also got our bricklaying and our carpentry and joinery trade apprenticeships open on the website as well. So you'll be asked to do an initial application. We tried to keep it quite short. There's not any scary questions on there. But if you have got a CV, you will be asked to upload that as well. So any relevant work experience you've got, put your qualifications on there, and that will all tie into your application. Once we've had a look at that, we will then invite you to a video interview. So again, we've tried to keep it scary free for you and keep it short. There is a chance to re-record your questions. You can have a look at the questions before you have a go, so plenty of time to prepare yourself, have a look at the questions, go away and do a bit of research. But if you are successful at the video interview stage, we then invite you along to what we call an assessment centre. But this is actually a really lovely day where you'll come along, you will have your interview. So for trade apprenticeships, that is a half-an-hour interview with, say, your relevant contracts manager. For degree apprentices, that will be with your relevant director, so your technical director, commercial director, or construction director. And that will be an hour-long interview. But alongside that, we do run either a morning or afternoon session with you. So it's a chance for you to meet our colleges, our universities, ask them any questions that you've not had answered up until that point, meet some more of our current apprentices like Jamie, who will be there on the day, just to get a bit of a feel of whether Barratt is the place you want to work, as much as we're trying to gauge whether you're the right candidate for us. Hopefully those assessment centres go well, and that is when we get to the offer stage. So we have kept it quite short and snappy for you to get through. There is a university application stage for the degree apprenticeships only. So an eligibility process for you to, of course, enrol with the university. But alongside that, we will be sorting out your conditional offers. Timelines for each of these stages, like I said, we are open, so you could be invited to video interviews anytime after your submitted application. And the assessment centres will take place either at the end of March or in April. So a bit of time to prepare for those, and we'll give you lots of guidance and support if you are invited to attend. Offers will come straight quite quickly after that. So you will have an offer with you by May at the latest. And you'll have the whole summer to either finish your qualification, enjoy the summer, ready for a September start, regardless of which apprenticeship we're talking about. So in terms of what, some hints and tips really from us about what to do. I appreciate at this stage, and particularly this week, you might have a lot of applications going on. They do tend to get quite similar, but it's about just taking a moment to understand who we are, what you're applying for. Do you actually know the role in the industry, and can you show that in your answers rather than just putting a generic one in each of your applications? So take a minute to be prepared. Applications are open until the middle of March, so you don't have to rush through. Have a look at our website, what we're offering in terms of those career paths. If there's any questions, reach out to our recruitment team and we'll make sure we answer those. But just be prepared with your answers as well. So set up a Word document, save and come back if you need to, and just try and put as much of yourself and a good answer into your application forms right the way through to your video interviews and preparing for your assessment centre interview. Spend that time making sure that you feel prepared. in that kind of hand in hand with that, AI is a wonderful tool. I appreciate that you can just put our questions in and be generated with a paragraph. It's just a little word of warning that, of course, we see a pattern. We start to recognise what they suggest for your answers. And what we really like to see is your motivation. There's not a lot of work experience that we're asking for in these applications. Qualifications are important, but they're not the be all and end all. So really it is about your motivation. Have you done the research? Do you actually want to apply for us? Or are you just ticking a box to get another application in? So try to use AI either as little as you can or to adapt your own answers rather than just generating it from the application form. And like I said, don't rush it, take your time, try and be interested in what you're saying and the future that you're trying to make for yourself. It says there to use things like the STAR technique. If you've not come across it before, give it a Google. There's lots of different kinds of acronyms for this this method, but essentially a lot of our scoring and questioning is based around competency questions. So we will be asking you for examples, and that's of things that you have done. So not things that you imagine you would do or you think you would be like if you were in that scenario. Think back to college projects, university modules and things that you might think will pop up if you've had any work experience or a part-time job, but also things like your hobbies you can draw on. We don't mind what the example is. Really, we're looking for the qualities that you're demonstrating within that. So when you are answering questions, particularly when it comes to things like the video interview stage and your interviews, try and make that situation, which is what is the scene, what are you actually giving for us as an example, what was your involvement in it? So if it is a group project that you're describing, we don't want to know what everybody else's role is, we want to know what you did, what was your impact, your thought process. Did you take any actions to achieve the goal of the question that we're asking from you? And then just to reflect on it, what was the outcome? Was it positive? Was it negative? Did you get any feedback? Try and tell us a story throughout your process. This really helps just to show your personality. Like I said, we're not asking you to have years of work experience. So we will have similar questions from school, colleges, hobbies, but it's your stamp on that that we will really look for and that will shine out if you try and frame your answers in a STAR technique. Similarly, just to touch on what we look for in a candidate. So I've mentioned motivation is a large part of it. So we have got on our screen here things like our values. So always have in mind when you're going through this, things like we do it for our customers. So we're looking for your people skills, your ability to recognise that, you know, we are a construction house building industry and customers are our prime focus. Things like doing it right and having that work ethic behind you to make sure that you are somebody who is conscientious to the work you're putting out there. Do it together. That's all about teamwork. Are you somebody that's able to collaborate within a team, come up with ideas, listen to other people's ideas, and we make it happen? So we are looking for driven people. Are you motivated to making a career in the construction industry? So in your answers and in every stage of the application process, are you showing us that you have thought about this career plan? You know what perhaps a few steps would look like in promotional terms? Do you understand what the industry as a whole looks like and how our company fits into that and your role? And just really always trying to bring it back to, why are you interested in this field? Why should it be you? And why are you looking for a career with us? Really is a big part of what we will look for in your answers. So I will pop, like I said, the link to our adverts below, but if there are any questions amongst you about what each apprenticeship involves or means, or even the recruitment process itself, we'll stay on for a little bit now if you want to pop them in the chat box. Otherwise, I will also put our email address in there if you would prefer to reach out to us directly.
We unfortunately only have plumbing apprenticeships in our Scotland division this year. We don't have any other plumbing apprenticeships throughout the UK. It will just be in Scotland, unfortunately, for this year. Any other questions at all? No, unfortunately, we don't have any opportunities in formwork, unfortunately. It's just carpentry and bricklaying for our trades.
I can see one question about age limit. That's a good question. So no, we don't have technically an age limit. It's more about the qualifications that you bring. So for either the trade apprenticeships, if you are a mature student, please feel free to apply. There is no upper limit on that. It happens regularly. So we love to support people who are looking for career changes, people with armed forces backgrounds, or people who perhaps are just a bit more mature and are now looking to join the industry. So absolutely feel free to apply for either programme, regardless of your age.
The only thing I would add to that is obviously kind of with the degree apprenticeship, you would need to have been a level 3 qualification complete. So more than likely you will be kind of 18 years or above to apply for the degree apprenticeship.
Lovely. If there's not any more questions, thank you all for joining us today. We've popped the link to our Barratt Careers website in the chat box, and also our email address if you want to get in touch directly. But I just wanted to thank you all for joining us today.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.